A very good morning to all of you. This is our second chapter, absorption of water, and this is the second part. In this part, we learn about the mechanism of water absorption, active absorption and passive absorption. These are the two types of the absorption of water or mechanism of active absorption. In first slide, mechanism of water absorption. The mechanism is totally depend on two phenomena. First phenomenon is diffusion. What is meant by diffusion? Diffusion is a process in which the molecule can be moved from one place to the another place. Or another way, movement of the molecule from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. For example, when in a boiling water or a plain water we put sugar or salt, that salt molecule dissolve into the water uniformly till the equilibrium can be formed. That phenomenon is the diffusion. Another example is when we put a drop of milk into water, the milk can be diffused or molecule of milk diffuses in water thoroughly till a equilibrium condition is formed. That process is known as the diffusion. This is the first phenomenon. Second, mechanism of water absorption depend on the osmosis. Osmosis, in first year we learn about the osmosis. Osmosis is a type of diffusion, but in another way. What is the definition of osmosis? Osmosis, when two solutions of different concentration are separated by means of a semi-permeable membrane, the diffusion of water or solvent takes place from the solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration. But until a state of dynamic equilibrium is attained. Till what? Till equilibrium is attained. This is known as the osmosis. That means osmosis is a type of diffusion, but it requires a semi-permeable membrane. It must having the semi-permeable membrane. If in that solution or in that case semi-permeable is not there at that time, that is the diffusion. If semi-permeable membrane is added at that time, that is the osmosis. But another point is that semi-permeable membrane is one thing, and second one is the diffusion of water or only solvent. Water or solvent molecule can be moved or diffuses from higher concentration to lower concentration. Water molecule, for example, there are two type of solution is there. One solution is 5% sugar solution and second one is the 10% sugar solution. Here the movement of water molecule from lower concentrated solution to the higher concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane, that is known as the osmosis. For example, there is a test tube or U-tube. At the center of U-tube there is a semi-permeable membrane, and one side there is a 5% sugar solution and other side 10% sugar solution. Then from 5% sugar solution, water can be moved through semi-permeable membrane toward the 10% sugar solution. Why? Because in 5% sugar solution there is more concentrated of water or more amount of water, hence that water can be moved from lower concentrated solution to the higher concentrated solution. That phenomenon is the osmosis, and on these two phenomena this mechanism is totally depend. Let us see one by one mechanism of water absorption. Principally there are two type of mechanism of water absorption, which they are: first one is the active absorption of water and second one is the passive absorption of water. It is totally depend on the energy. In one case energy is required, in another case energy is not required. In active absorption of water, the energy, metabolic energy in the form of ATP is required, hence they are known as the active absorption. And in passive absorption there is no requirement of energy. These are the difference between active and passive absorption of water. Let us see one by one. First one is the active absorption of water, osmotic absorption of water. Again, active absorption of water is divided into two types. First one is the osmotic absorption of water and second one is the non-osmotic absorption of water. Before seeing these two mechanisms, what is active absorption of water? Let us see active absorption. In many plants, the water is absorbed actively by utilizing metabolic energy, and that metabolic energy is in the form of ATP molecule or ATP, and root cells are actively involved in the process. Here root cells, not the root hairs. The root cells are actively involved in the process, and hence this type of absorption of water is by the cell and not through the cell, through the root hair, not through the root hair. It is only by the cell, because in the cell some metabolic energy is created, and with the help of that metabolic energy root absorb the water. This is the absorption of water. And active absorption of water takes place by again two mechanisms, or it is divided into the two mechanisms. First one is the osmotic absorption of water, second one is the non-osmotic absorption of water. Let us see one by one. First one is the osmotic absorption of water. This is the online figure take from the YouTube channel, and following is the address of that picture image. Osmotic absorption. Now we know that it is a type of active absorption. That means osmotic absorption require the energy. That is the first important part. And what this theory says? This theory says that according to this theory, osmotic potential or osmotic difference between the soil water and cell sap in the root cell plays an important role. Two part is there. One part is the soil water, second one is the cell sap in the root cell. The osmotic pressure of which mostly osmotic pressure is generated in the cell sap, and that cell sap of the root hair is generally higher than the osmotic pressure of the soil water. When osmotic pressure is higher in the cell, that time only cell can absorb water. That means their endoosmosis can be takes place, and this concept is says that when cell sap having the higher osmotic pressure than the soil water, and that time hence water from the soil enter into the root hair. That means endoosmosis can be takes place, and root hair is in contact with the soil water. Root is in contact with the soil water. For example, this is soil and this is root system. That root absorb the water from the soil. In this way, since the wall of the root hair is semi-permeable, here one point is also important, that root hair having the semi-permeable membrane, and water enters into the root hair. Water enters into the root hair through that semi-permeable membrane by osmotic pressure which is generated into the root cell or root hair cell. For example, in this diagram, this is the root hair, this is the soil particle. In soil particle there is presence of water, and this root hair of semi-permeable membrane, and through that semi-permeable membrane in this root hair, due to the higher osmotic pressure, water which is present in the soil particle, they absorb into the root hair. This is the active absorption, because here energy is required, and that energy is generated into this root hair. That is the first point. Here, as a result of this, root hair cell become turgid. root hair cell absorb water, and due to absorption of water, the root hair cell become turgid and its osmotic pressure falls due to dilution. But at the same time, the turgor pressure is increases. What is turgor pressure? Turgor pressure is nothing but the total amount of or highest amount of water is absorbed by the cell and regain its highest turgid size or highest size, that is known as the, and the pressure which is present by the that cell is known as the turgid pressure. And turgor pressure here, due to the absorption of water from soil, the turgor pressure of root hair is increases. As a result of this, root hair cell become turgid and its osmotic pressure is reduces or osmotic pressure falls due to the dilution, but turgor pressure is increases. And the increase in turgor pressure lower its suction pressure, because when cell is fully turgid, they does not absorb the water, so it falls or lowers its suction pressure as compared to the adjacent cell, and due to this difference in suction pressure or osmotic pressure, the water from the previous cell enters into the adjacent cell. For example, here in the root cell, whole amount of water is absorbed, and after absorbing water, the root hair cell become turgid. But at the same time, this is epidermal cell. That epidermal cell does not having the water, so it is full of water, and this epidermal cell does not having the water. At that time, this epidermal cell having higher osmotic pressure than the root hair cell. So what process is done? In this case, here in the epidermal cell, osmotic pressure is increases, and due to increased osmotic pressure, this epidermal cell absorb water from this root hair, because this root hair is full of water, or it having highest turgidity. Turgor pressure is highest, so more amount of water present into the root hair, so that water is enter into the epidermal cell. Thus water will move from this path. First epidermal cell, then epiblema, then cortical cell, then it is the passage cell, further endodermis, and after the xylem and phloem. In this way, the full canal is filled with the water, and we all know that xylem. Where is xylem? This is the xylem. Xylem is the region through which water can be transported from root toward the uppermost part of the plant. When we see xylem, it is vertical. This section is a horizontal section. When we see the vertical section, at that time xylem cell absorb water and goes toward the leaf of the plant, and that is only through the xylem, and that is known as the absorption of water, active absorption of water. Here what is path here? Path is nothing but the first root hair. After root hair, it goes toward the epidermis, after that the cortical cell, after that the passage cell. Through passage cell it enters into the endodermis, and after the endodermis it enters into the xylem and phloem, and this is the pathway of osmotic absorption of water. Here each and every cell having osmotic pressure, each and every cell it generate or utilize some amount of energy, and that energy is in the form of ATP. Due to that energy, absorption of water can be takes place. In this way, this theory said that the water from cortical cell is forced into the xylem vessel across the endodermis because of the root pressure, and that root pressure is nothing but the pressure which is developed into the root, and that root pressure is nothing but the energy, and that energy is in the form of ATP. So this theory explained that the osmotic absorption of water. Here two phenomenon is there. First, osmotic potential, and second one is the energy. These two concepts are responsible for the osmotic absorption of water. Next one is but there is some objection of osmotic absorption of water, which they are. First one is the value of root pressure develop are very low. Here the value of root pressure develop are very low, and hence in very tall plant it will not be sole working mechanism for absorption of water. Here the trees like eucalyptus, for example Nilgiri, they are the 100 meters of the plant. The height of the plant is 100 meter, and in such plant the root pressure develop into the root that is very low or negligible, and height of plant is very much high. So here no pressure can be applied, or no osmotic pressure is responsible to absorb the water. So this is the first objection of osmotic absorption of water. Second one is the root pressure develop is not universal. There are lakhs of the plant. In angiosperm 3 lakh species are there, and other is different. Algae are different, then in algae number is different, in fungi it is another, in gymnosperm and in pteridophyte they are the number, there are different. What this theory objection said that the root pressure develop is not universal. There are the different varieties of the plant, and root pressure is not same in all these plant. There is the difference of root pressure due to the different environmental condition, availability of water, and pressure or osmotic pressure of that specific plant. So here another objection is root pressure development is not universal. Third one is the absorption of water is against concentration gradient. Against the concentration gradient, and this is another important point. Each and every plant having the different concentration gradient, and absorption of water is against the concentration gradient. It is another point. Fourth one is the absorption of water takes place even in absence of root. It is another example. Absorption of water takes place even in absence of the root, and hence root plays no significant role of absorption osmotic potential in water absorption. For example, if we take a cut flower of rose, that cut flower when we put into a vase which having the water, that flower is fresh for 1 day or for 2 days. What is mechanism there? Is there root? No. There is no root till the flower become fresh. Flower absorb the water and gives to the flower, and flower becomes the fresh. So this is also another objection here, that absorption of water takes place even in absence of root. In this way, this is some objection. So this theory is mostly rejected. Next theory is the non-osmotic absorption of water. This theory was proposed by the Kramer in 1959, and according to this theory, water moves from the soil into the root hair and then into the cortical cell. First water enter into the root hair and then into the cortical cell and endodermis, again the concentration gradient. Such type of accelerated movement of water requires lot of energy, and that energy is in the form of ATP, which is released during the respiration. As the rate of respiration increases, the energy is also increases, or ATP molecule is also increases, and that ATP molecule are responsible for the absorption of water. No osmotic pressure. In first theory, osmotic potential is important, and in this theory, osmotic potential is not important, only energy. which is released during the respiration in the form of ATP, that is important. This active absorption of water is not based on the principle of osmosis or osmotic pressure, and hence it is called as non-osmotic absorption of water. This theory is another important theory, but this theory also having some objection. Which these objection? First one is the close link between absorption of water and respiration. There is close link between the absorption of water and respiration. The energy releasing process. Respiration. What is respiration? It is energy releasing process, and if respiration is inhibited, the absorption of water is also inhibited, and vice versa. If the rate of respiration is increases, the rate of water absorption is also increases. If rate of respiration is decreases, the rate of water absorption is also decreases, and both are the vice versa. So this is first objection of this theory. Second one is the factor affecting respiration affect the absorption of water. This is the another important point. The factor which reduces the rate of respiration, that factor also reduces absorption of water. Third one is the poisonous substances which retard the rate of metabolic activity, retard the absorption of water. When in the atmosphere there is a poisonous substances, that poisonous substance reduce the rate of respiration, and if rate of respiration or metabolic activity retard, the rate of absorption is also retard. So these are some objection of non-osmotic absorption of water. Next mechanism or another type. First one is the active absorption, and second one is the passive absorption of water. What is passive absorption of water? Here the roots are passive here. No ATP rich molecule or no energy is required here. So this mechanism is known as the passive absorption of water, because root plays as a passive role here. Some other forces which is generated at other part of the plant, they are responsible for absorption of water. Hence root is passive and the energy is generated at other part of the plant. So this theory is known as the passive absorption of water. Here in this mechanism, root cell are not involved in the cell at all. They do not play any role in water absorption, and hence the water is absorbed through the root but not by the root system or root cell. The root cell remain passive and some other forces generated at the top of the plant. Generally it is leaves plays an vital role in the water absorption. The root cell act only as the absorbing agent, or it is a subsidiary part, and they are only mediator and their role is only passive. So this theory is known as a passive absorption of water. Then which force is there? Let us see in this diagram. This is the roots and here this is the leaf. In leaf there is a transpiration process, and transpiration, what is meant by transpiration? Loss of water through aerial part of the plant, that is nothing but the aerial part are nothing but the leaves, and through leaves the most of water is losses in the form of vapor, that is known as the transpiration. And due to that transpiration some forces or some pressure is created, some forces are created on the topmost part of the plant, and due to that force water can be absorbed by the root, not through the root. Here root are passive but they only mediator, they only absorb the water by pressure developed into the leaf. So this theory is known as the transpiration or passive absorption of water. Next one is cortical cell, or thus the entire process of water absorption, the root cell are simply passive, and hence it is known as a passive absorption of water, but here very negligible amount of objection are there, and most of the supportive point are there in this theory. Which are supportive point? First point is the absorption and the transpiration of water, they are closely interlinked. As the rate of transpiration increases, water absorption is also increases. There is a close relationship between the water absorption and transpiration. Second, rate of absorption of water is generally almost equal to that of rate of transpiration. That means if there is a rate of transpiration, for example, specific rate of transpiration is there, and that much amount of water can be absorbed because due to the rate of transpiration. They are both equal. For example, 10 ml water is transpired through the leaf. At that time 10 ml of water is absorbed by the root. Both are equal. Next one is the very often water is absorbed against the concentration gradient because of transpiration force. This is another important point. And last one is the absorption of water may take place without root. No root plays any role. Roots are passive here, and without root water can be absorbed. Sometimes even the cut end of the stem absorb the water. As we say that cut flower we take into the vase, they absorb the water without root. So here this theory tells that roots are the passive here. So this theory is known as the passive absorption of water. Here the theory of passive absorption of water, that is also transpiration pool theory, is accepted by all the scientists because of its strong merit or strong supportive point, and hence active absorption of water has little significance, and it must be a cooperative mechanism or supporting process for absorption of water. In this way, this is the two theories. Active requires some amount of energy, passive they are totally depend on the transpiration. In this way, these two theory, active require energy, passive does not require the energy. Active depends on concentration, osmotic pressure and energy, and passive, that is totally depend on the rate of transpiration. Root, here in osmotic theory, root plays an important role, and in passive absorption root are only mediator. So this is about the two mechanism of water absorption. In this way, today's our topic is completed. Again, same message, think about the picture. Picture is also same. A person who is tied by the mobile with various social media app, and this is today's condition. Thank you.